What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some news that's coming out involving Tesla. But you should be watching for as time goes on, looking at the charts and some data. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY, non-invested cash. The offer ends very soon, in about 2 weeks from now. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the market. So I just want to mention that when it comes to the way Tesla is moving, we pushed very nicely. This 478 area is our resistance, only to come back down. And when we watch to see how well Tesla could hold above 470. So we're once again at are very close to all-time highs. Tesla remains very, very resilient, but the resistance very close to that 480 area is a little bit tougher, so just be a little bit careful there. But nonetheless, Tesla still remains more bullish. So please keep that in mind. We're still bullish overall. Now, we had some news that came out. We had this Mizuho analyst known as Vijay Rakesh. He basically claimed that Tesla's looking very bullish in his eyes as well, and he now upgraded his price target to Tesla to an outperform rating from a neutral run, and he basically boosted his price target to about $515 a share from $230. That's about 11% above the current levels, so that's still quite bullish. And this is said to be the second highest rating that Tesla has gotten behind Wedbush's Daniel Ives from yesterday. So that's very, very bullish news that's come out. They believe there's going to be a very, very big increase in autonomous driving technology, and they believe that Tesla's autonomy software stack is improving towards commercialization. And he believes it's very, very bullish, at least as time goes on. So that is some big news, very, very bullish upgrade from Mizuho analysts. And now, when it comes to other pieces of news, we have this news involving Indonesia. So Indonesia is now planning to pitch business opportunities, including data centers to Elon Musk. I think this is going to be very interesting because in the past, Tesla has been in talks with Indonesia. But if anything, they didn't end up like forming close deals with them because they are quite a distance away from their factories. However, they are still open to the idea of possibly buying nickel from them because there's a lot of nickel deposits which could be used for their battery packs. So in this case, they have another proposition, which includes data centers for the company, which is always a possibility. So we'll see how that goes for them, but we'll see how Tesla responds to this. I think that could be very useful as well. Moving forward, just know there's not really anything for earnings for Tuesday. Going into Wednesday, however, we do have more retail, and then Thursdays like that as well. So just keep that in mind. Now, for other factors, just know that there's not really much data coming out, at least thus far. We do have industrial production and manufacturing numbers coming out at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a little bit after this video is uploaded. And then on top of that, I don't see anything else that's too crazy, just like business inventories and very minor data for the rest of the day. For data, just know that so far, tech is what led the market up yesterday. Going into Nvidia right now, Nvidia has been dipping quite a bit. It's also looking a little bit weaker so far. That still remains just like from yesterday. And then besides that, I didn't see anything else too crazy on the news. We do have Jerome Powell giving a speech at the FOMC meeting tomorrow, so that's going to be very important. So please keep that in mind. Besides that, I'm not seeing anything else that's too crazy. So now I just want to focus on the charts. So these are some key levels to watch for on Tesla. If Tesla loses the support around 473-ish, if we don't hold above that, I'm going to be looking for us to dip closer to 470. If 470 fails for Tesla, we're looking for a move back down to about 466 and then 463. If we break out above 475, look for an attempt to get back up to 478. If that breaks, we're looking for 480, the new all-time highs closer to like 485. So make sure you watch those levels very closely. This morning, what happened to Tesla was we pumped to 478, then we slowed down a bit so you guys can see the resistance is tough up here. So in the morning, expect Tesla to gap up. It could cool off a little bit and kind of shuffle like it did yesterday. And we'll see if we could attempt to continue to push back up into the high 470s or not. But look for a little bit of shuffling this morning between the 470 area and about 475. We might shuffle a bit. It's possible to get a little dip actually because of this tough resistance in this area. We could retest the high 460s, but then we could get bought back up later on as the day progresses back into the mid 470s. So Tesla remains very strong in the daily and such. There might be a lot of shuffling today, however, at least to start off at these levels. So please keep that in mind. But nonetheless, the share price remains bullish, and we could be breaking all-time highs again. Now for SPY, this is what's happening with SPY. As you can see, we have this channel. We rejected off the 608, so we get bought back up around 602, and we're going back and forth and back and forth. So if this support holds, we could attempt to rebound back up to about 606, then come back down. We're just kind of continuing to trade in this range. There's a very, very good chance it's going to continue this. But if we lose 603, I would become a little bit more concerned if we do get a break below this, then we could be dipping to 602 and back down to 600. As of right now, we remain in the range, so I'm hoping that we just get a bounce from here. We just continue to trade like this until FOMC. So that's going to be the most likely possibility in my personal opinion. For ES, I'm seeing that we gapped up quite a bit. We have this big gap to fill, so it's possible we do get a small dip on ES before it attempts to rebound. We'll have to see how well that holds. If we do end up getting a big dip, we'll see how this affects SPY. It might cause a little bit more volatility, so we'll see. Make sure you watch the support around 61.11. If that fails us, then yes, I think we fill this gap down here. So watch for a tester and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For Nvidia, unfortunately, we're showing weakness. We are all the way down towards the 130 area. If that doesn't hold, like I said before, 128 is to be expected in 125. There's a left shoulder here, head and a right shoulder. So we're looking for 128 as our target, potentially 125 as we look a bit more bearish. For Bitcoin, or bullish, we have potential to go up to about 108,000. So I think we could be attempting to push higher. And we're making higher highs and higher lows. So we could be looking for a much bigger trend. So we look more bullish in my opinion. For others out there, we have, let me just double check this. We have NQ. NQ at this resistance around 22,400. I have the support to watch for over here around 22,250. If that fails us, there's obviously this gap to fill down here. So it might dip a little bit towards 22,250. We'll see if we bounce off that or not. Otherwise, just be a little bit careful. There might be a little bit of a dip coming to 22,250. I'll have to see if we bounce off that or not. So just keep that in mind. For the QQQ, we're also gapping up very strongly. We're looking like pretty decent. If we don't hold above 538, we could be dipping to this imbalance towards 532 before it attempts to bounce. So it could be a small dip before it attempts to rebound. So be careful. This imbalance takes us down to about 535 and 532.5. So there could be a small dip coming before it attempts to rebound. So just keep that in mind. For Apple, we're in a very strong uptrend right now. It's possible we retest 250 then 248, and we'll have to see if we bounce off that. But overall, it's looking more bullish. For the IWM Russell 2000, we have been attempting this rebound, but it's starting to fail because we're supposed to hold in this channel. I noticed that we're struggling to do that. So this could attempt to push for the 233s and come back down to 231.29, very close to our 200 EMA. But nonetheless, I see some weakness on the IWM. For Coinbase, we look a bit more bullish with Bitcoin trying to push. We could be on our way up to about 325 or so. For Amazon, so long as we don't lose 229 right here, we could be favoring 234 plus to 235. So I see some more upside if we break past all-time highs. We're looking pretty strong on Amazon. Meta's looking decent, but we're kind of shuffling around 622. We need to hold 622 to push up to 630. If we don't hold 622 and we start dipping below that, we're looking for a move back down to 617. This is favoring 630 though, so it looks more bullish. Microsoft has the support here. It might retest 447. We'll have to see if we bounce off that or not. If we don't, we could be dipping back down towards 444, but we look more bullish overall. I think that there's a lot of potential in this to try to continue. So look for a 447 retest. We'll see if we bounce. Google's also holding support for now. It's kind of consolidating at 200. Might see a small dip because 200 is a tough resistance, but this could be forming kind of like a nice trend. So if we do dip a little bit, as long as we make a higher low, we could attempt to bounce, and we'll have to see if we could break 200. It's going to be a tough resistance nonetheless. That being said, guys, Tesla remains very elevated. It's very strong and bullish. Just know we have a tough resistance around 478. So if Tesla does it may shuffle like around here for some time, but eventually it could attempt to break 480 as time goes on. So look for a little bit of a shuffle right here in the 470 area. We could even dip just a little bit, and then we'll have to see what happens after that. But with that being said, watch levels like hold out, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video in just a couple of hours from now. Until then, I just wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for listening, and peace out.